first off, you were awesome in this. And I thought Skinhead Kevin James was scary, but Daryl is just a really unsettling character because on the surface, he seems like he could be like a solid dude, but he's not. So what was it like for you tapping into someone who's so dark?
It was pretty easy. But thanks for the compliment, by the way. Thank you so much for what you said. I just had an idea of what the character could be like. And I think that was what I wanted to do was, not have it be, because I loved Kevin James's performance. And I knew this was going to be, different. And I think it's watching movies, the characters that can come across being more kind of scary are the ones you're just not quite sure of. And there's more layers to it. And the directors are really totally cool with that. So my feeling was like, he doesn't think he's a bad, evil guy. He believes in what he's thinking and excuse me, that sounds stupid. He believes in what he's doing. But yeah, overall, I was like, it's pretty easy to go dark, dude.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy for me. Pretty easy to go.
Is it therapeutic? Did it feel good? Was it therapeutic?
Yeah, there were some fun things. There was something, I don't know. But more than anything, just creatively, I think it was just like finally to get a chance to do something considerably different.
Yeah. I can imagine that that's difficult too, to subvert expectations, right? For people who might have expected you to be funny and then, and it's just a character that nobody's ever seen you play before. Yeah.
It's, I'm just really grateful to the directors. We had such an awesome time filming it. And I did the best that I could, but I came away from the experience being like, what was most meaningful to me was how much fun it was to shoot it. And then I watched it and then I was like, holy this movie's awesome. Like,
yeah,
I had no idea. Like I thought it was going to be great, but I'm there shooting my stuff, which was for like a week and a half. So seeing it all put together, and I was like, it's one of those smaller movies that you just don't know what it's going to be. And then you watch, you're like, whoa, like this is awesome. So, and like my performance, I was excited about people seeing it because it really, like, again, like you just commit to an idea and you don't know if it's going to work. And then you watch and you're like, oh, good. I didn't ruin the movie.
No, you definitely didn't ruin the movie, man. You were honestly like probably my favorite part of the movie, but you're usually my favorite part of most movies that you're in. I really am just a giant fan, and not to get too spoilerish, but the bear trap scene, as soon as that happened, I was like, oh no, not lightning and thunder.
Holy shit, that's hilarious,
dude. To this day, I gotta say, The Rundown, it's my favorite movie with The Rock. And a possible sequel's been talked about like since like 2009, but I think Peter Berg said that like Travis wasn't returning. So for the record, I have zero interest watching a Rundown sequel without you in it.
Oh, that's sweet, dude.
It's true. It's 100% true. But what I wanted to ask is Travis a character that you'd be interested in revisiting if the powers that be came knocking?
Oh my God, for sure. That's one of my favorite movies that I got to make. I'm like, yeah, and it's crazy. That movie holds up. I watched it the other day, like the action, all of it, the tone. Usually movies, like you watch those types or any movie from back then they're just like, they feel dated. And it's like, that's a credit to Peter Berg and Dwayne, it's like the whole, 100%. I don't think they would call for me, but if they did, I mean, dude, I would be their like water boy.
But I think you're such a staple of that movie. I can't imagine that movie without, like, I don't want a sequel to The Rundown without you. Like, you are like the heart of that movie. Like, no, like I love awesome. Travis is like this bumbling kind of, like self-centered, I don't want to say idiotic. He's not dumb, but he's definitely self-centered, like this, like, but almost like an Indiana Jones, but less adept. I love that character, man. He's that's fantastic. Awesome. So yeah,
it was a great experience for me too. And sorry to cut you off, but like Peter Berg, just brilliant. Like he would come up with like ideas and stuff, and like so much of the stuff that I really love about that character were things that he would think up, and he was just incredible. So yeah, I appreciate it.
No, of course, man. I mean it. Now, as someone who graduated high school in the early 2000s, I love the American Pie films, and especially the arc of Stiffler and seeing how he sort of grew as a character. You know, seeing as how it's been over 10 years since we got American Reunion. Like, do you think you guys are done with American Pie, or do you feel like everyone could be convinced to return with the right idea?
I think that, you know, for the longest time, it just was like, didn't it for me, I don't know. I just love the character so much. I'm like, it has to be, we have to have a great idea. And especially these days, it like, it has to be awesome. You know, comedies are tough and they've always been tough, but like, you know, comedies have really changed. But I think honestly, if there, we've been talking about an idea. I had one and I still have one that, you know, we literally just recently started talking about, because I was like, it would be so much fun to see. I think fun, but also really fascinating to see a guy like Stiffler in his mid 40s today, like trying to figure things out. A guy who's like, hasn't really changed that much, but the world has changed. You know, what would his life be like? You know, and is there a fun end to like a story, seeing that? And so I don't know if it'll ever happen.
But what I feel is also fascinating about those characters now in 2023 is that, like, you know, those characters would have their own kids who would pretty soon be going to high school and would have to deal with what, you know what I mean? Like having to deal with kind of the shit that they know that they did in high school, you know? I think that could be sort of fascinating, but
totally. That's a great idea. I'm sure they've been thinking about that too. But yeah, I know
I'm here all day long, you know, I'm just brainstorm.
That's awesome.
No, dude, you have so much stuff that I love. I mean, role models is another one. I know that you said back in 2017, I think I read that you said that you don't think R-rated comedies are really getting made anymore. But I mean, I feel like the whole landscape has changed once again, you know, even since back then, you know, 2023. Like, do you think role models is still off the table as far as coming back to that now?
Oh, you mean doing a sequel to Role Models?
Yeah, doing a sequel.
Oh, I would do it in a heartbeat to work with those guys again.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what the hell I'm talking about. If I said that in 2017, I'm sure it was just because it seemed like for a while that they weren't making as many comedies at that time, but they are now. And they're making like romantic comedies are coming back. I'm about to do an R-rated romantic comedy in like a month and a half. That's like very Judd Apatow vibe, you know, meets with a little bit of Jerry Maguire. Like, it's hilarious. And it's kind of a throwback to those movies that we like. And so, yeah, I feel like comedies are kind of coming back.
Yeah, I think so too, man. Yeah, I mean, 2017 too. I mean, that was sort of like peak, like Marvel stuff was going on. But now I think with the streaming wars, you know, everybody needs content. Everybody's looking for like franchise IP that they can dip into and be like, how can we sort of, you know, milk this? And as long as you've got a good idea there, I mean, you know, it's ready to go. But you have so many stuff that you've been in that's like established that like people love. Like, and like you said, they hold up, man. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass when I say that Rundown is like my favorite rock movie. And I really think it's because of you.
I appreciate it, man. Like, no, that I know I have a really special place in my heart for that movie. Like, it was so much fun to make, and then to work with them, and then it's just like, yeah, you watch the movie now, you're like, this is still awesome.
Oh, it's great. It's just a fun movie, man. It's just fun. I just love it. Yeah, exactly. Now, one other thing that I read that you were working on is this movie called Grand Death Lotto, right? Is that you're working on with John Cena and Awkwafina and Simu Liu? Well,
and Paul directed that.
Say what now?
Paul Feig directed that, and that's an R-rated comedy.
Oh, nice. I'm excited for it. I didn't know that was until I started like doing research for the interview. I was like, oh, this sounds amazing. But you know, they're all comic book characters. And so me being a guy who works for ComicBook.com, I wanted to ask you, now that you've gotten your, you know, to kind of dip your toes in this villain water with Wrath of Becky, you know, is there like a Marvel or DC character that would just be a dream role for you? And it could be a good guy or it could be a villain. Is there anybody that you would just be chomping at the bits to like get a hold of?
Man, there's so many great characters. I'd love to. I think it'd be fun to do a comic book movie. I think the first character that came to mind was like Booster Gold. could be very fun. But I think I'm too old for it.
No, you're not. I
don't know.
I don't think you are. You're in great shape, man. I don't want
I don't know if he's supposed to be younger, but that character, I was like, that I could, maybe I just don't remember his age, but it was like, that's a great.
He's like a time traveler too, right? So, I think he's already sort of established when he goes, you're perfect for it. As soon as you said Booster Gold, I was like, I don't think there's anybody more perfect for Booster Gold than you.
Come on, James Gunn. Let's go.
Let's do it, James. Let's go. I'm going to tweet him right now after this is over. And I'm going to be like, I just talked to Seann William Scott. He's ready to do Booster Gold. Let's do it.
I'm in.
All right. I'm in your corner all the way. I want all the Seann William Scott movies, man. I love you and I've missed you. Like I'm happy. I was so excited when I got the invite for this and I saw you were in it. I was like, this is great. I can't wait.
Thank you, man. It means a lot to me. I really appreciate it.
I've grown up with you. We were sort of, I was in high school when the American Pie movies were coming out. And then
you're the reason why I have a career.
And I love that. No, you're the reason you have a career. You're awesome. But I really do. I enjoy all of your work. I've never watched anything that you're in. I mean, Goon, everything. I just love everything. So you're awesome, man. And this has been such a pleasure getting to talk to you. Thank you for taking the time.
Well, man, it's one of the best. I won't forget it. Thank you.